fairly close one yesterday with the indoor. The teams obviously aren't exactly the same, but there are a lot of the same players on the outdoor second team as there are in the indoor one. So it'll be exciting to see how it changes being outdoor.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball's just gone off the sideline there, so it is a York ball in their own quarter, defensive quarter. It's been taken by their left back, and Lancaster have overturned it and taken it directly into the D. Cleared by the centre mid for York, and it's been worked out, and York retain possession. Number 37, Fleur Barrett, is running it through the middle, carrying it down the line, and intercepted by Lancaster. Umpires letting the game play on, and York can put it back round. Very quick start for Lancaster there into a danger area. What do you think York need to do to make sure that they win this game?
I think they need to make sure that they're really watching all of their passes, just making sure they're getting their basics right, especially as they settle into the match, just to make sure they get off to a good start. It's currently in the D, just been cleared by York's left back.
Yeah, so Lancaster have another sideline within the York's defensive 25. Ball must move 5 metres before it can go straight into the D. No danger, umpire lets it play on, and the keeper's made a really good diving save out there to keep York from conceding very early on. Lancaster keep possession though. Foot one for Lancaster, and they win a free in a dangerous area, but immediately picked up by York again. A bit of a scrappy game to start with. Very little possession being retained by either team. I think they all need to settle into this game a little bit on both sides.
Yeah, it's looking really scrappy at the moment. A lot of turnovers really, really quickly. It's currently down at the Lancaster end, just been cleared off the back line, so we're having a 16 for Lancaster.
Yeah, so when the ball goes off the back line by the attacking team, it'll be taken in line with the edge of the D, which is that semicircle you see around the goal. It is currently still 0-0 between York and Lancaster Ladies 2's outdoor hockey. And York have overturned it in the middle of the pitch. Vice-captain Izzy Roser is driving it through. And tackle made by Lancaster, and they have possession.
They're running up the right. Lancaster have the ball, being followed by York.
Good cut inside there from the Lancaster midfielder. They're being let to run really free there. And well in by centre-back, Katie Patterson, number 60, is pulling it out from the back. A really nice in-the-air interception. And Lancaster get there first and is knocked off the side by York, so it'll be a Lancaster sideline ball. Really good defensive work being seen so far from the York backs. Unfortunately, I really feel like it shouldn't be getting that far very easily.
Yeah, they're getting put under a lot of pressure, especially as soon as they turn it over. Lancaster seems to be winning it back really quickly afterwards.
And that is a short corner to Lancaster. There's been a foul within the D, which means Lancaster gets to take a shot on goal with only 4 defenders in the goal. If you're watching on the TV, you'll see them setting up. Lancaster can have as many attackers as they want. York are limited to 4 defenders who will start within the goal and then come out as soon as the ball has been played. This is a really good opportunity for Lancaster to score a goal as they have a massive overload. And yeah, we'll see what they do.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Typically, you see teams take a straight strike on their first short corner of the match, so we'll see if that's what they do here.
It seems to be one of their very strong players who's standing at the top of the D, and she has already shown, slipped it to the left, and intercepted by York, but the forward has it again. Not out of danger yet. York are really doing well, and it's been a back stick by Lancaster, and the ball is free for York. That was dealt with very well by the York defence. Lancaster have not capitalised on that penalty.
Taken out wide to the left by York centre-back, and back round, transferring currently with the centre-back again.
Yeah, this is what we want to see from York. We want them to be very calm in possession, just hold on to it a bit more, less scrappy play in their own half of the pitch, because that was getting a bit dangerous very, very quickly there. And they've won a foul and retained possession.
Yeah, they're looking like they're getting much more level-headed over the ball, and they're taking their time instead of rushing it and giving it over more quickly.
Yeah,
retaining possession really well.
Absolutely. That's all York needs to do at this point in the game. There's no point trying to force it through. We've got a full game left to play, so they don't need to rush anything. As long as they have the ball, the other team can't do anything. Hockey really is, it's a game of possession. It's really, really important that you can try and hold on to it for as long as possible. Makes the work means you have to put in a lot less work as well than when you're defending. And yeah, I think York needs to come in with this. They're the home team. They won their fixture last year, and they need to come in with a lot of confidence this year and just control this game from the start. Picked up in the middle by Izzy Roser. And worked out wide by the Lancaster player. Touch from York, but it does go off the sideline, and it is a Lancaster ball. Lancaster tried to play it straight down the line into a foot from the York captain. His number 26, Charlotte Bennett, at her final roses. As a forward, obviously, Charlotte will be aiming to try and get a goal today. I know that she's been very, very, very nervous about this game, just because she wants it so much. She's a great player, and for her final roses, it would be very good to see that from her. York have managed to keep it, but there is a foot from the York defender, and Lancaster have it in the middle of the pitch. The Lancaster play it wide. Flicked up off the York stick, but Lancaster keep possession, and centre mid has taken it and knocked it wide. Unfortunately, York are not able to get onto the end of that. It will be a Lancaster 16 deep in the corner. York really should be pressing high here to try and keep the ball up there, but they don't seem to have organised into that. Lancaster, again, taking the ball from the back line, just trying to get it set up. They don't seem to put it in the right place.
No.
So. The umpires for this game, obviously, like all Roses umpires, are external, but for the hockey club, they tend to get the same umpires every year, so both teams will know them very well. They are good at what they do. They're very strict, but has to be in a game like this, and they'll keep the game running right. York have got possession, playing it around the back, and they've lost it, unable to keep it on that sideline. Number 6 knocks it off, and it is a Lancaster sideline. What do you think is breaking down for York here at the minute?
I think at the moment they've been doing much better in the last few minutes. The ball's been in the Lancaster half much more than it was right at the start of the match. It's now in the York D, and they've just given away a foot, it looks like, but it was just outside the D. So Lancaster have the ball right outside, but they have to take it 5 metres before they can go back into the D.
Good interception there from Millie Gatto, and Lancaster won it straight back again. York are really struggling when they're outletting it to get it to a York stick. Every time they win, they turn it over, and it's going back to Lancaster again. They are putting themselves under unnecessary pressure because they are defending really, really well. They just need to take a second and hold on to it.
Yeah, I think also they're struggling to find players, their midfielders. They don't seem to be making, I think they could be making more leads. And maybe also there's a lack of communication, so they're not quite as aware of as for when there are players available for them, so they're just throwing it away.
Yeah. Good control, very calm by the York number 6 there. Keep it in the corner, not letting anything go, and she knocks it back to keep possession. That's really good. She doesn't try to force it down the line. They just hold on to the ball. Again, it's 0-0, remember, so York don't need to be forcing anything. And Lancaster have found it again. That is their captain, number 15 there for Lancaster, makes a lovely ball out wide. Unfortunately, no one there to get on the end of it. She seems like she's going to be a big threat in the middle there. A lovely turn and pick up. So definitely one to watch for everyone at home. And York have another sideline. They seem to be getting stuck in this position quite frequently, but their defence are very calm. Have been making some really good decisions, and while Lancaster are pressing very high. So it's just about trying to not to force it, keep possession. I will say that a lot. As a defender myself, I'll probably be harsher on the defenders than I would anyone else.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely. You've got two defenders in here who usually play.
Yeah, it looks like they're particularly struggling when they've got the ball right on the side, right in the back. They're struggling. They look like they're trying to make transfers.
And there's a Lancaster foot in the D, so York have the ball, possession again for a free out.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here now. They're
number 60, Katie Patterson plays it back to Anissa, another girl who's here on her final rose as a 4th year. Lovely touch forward from the York wing back, and we're off. Good tackle from Lancaster, and they've just launched a counter attack immediately, but quickly shut down by the York centre back. That is, and it's out. The captain has got the ball. Number 26, Charlotte Bennett, is running it down the wing. Ball is being brought back for a foul against York, and they have possession in their attacking half. That was really, really good stuff from the centre back there for York, who managed to step in front of what was undoubtedly a really good counter attack.
Yeah, I think Lancaster had a really good opportunity there. They almost had an overload at the top, but the centre back did a really good job there of stopping it before they could make much progress.
So as number 56 for York that we were talking about, as I said, her final roses. I know that she will be wanting to get a win today and cap off her 4 years that she's had here at York. As is many of this team who are. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are 10 players on this York Ladies 2 squad who will be. This is their final roses that they are playing today, their final game for the club. So it's a really big day for a lot of them, and I think that hopefully we get to see that and see that fire from them throughout this game. It's been picked up by the York president, Mia Batchelor, number 40.
Yeah, lovely tackle there.
Good and really well. She's kept possession. She's not tried to force it, and is being run down the line. York have gotten through into their attacking quarter, but Lancaster managed to get a stick on it.
Lovely block tackle there from Lancaster.
Yeah, cleared wide, out of danger for Lancaster. Really good stuff there. There's no need to try and rush it. Knock it out wide, and they're completely safe. You can't help feel that York are trying to do too much on their own, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
Yeah, it feels like they could really be using more like small triangles to try and make as many passes as they can and retain possession a bit longer, because they've got their heads down at the moment, and they seem to be losing the ball a lot because of that, running into Lancaster sticks.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's been transferred around the back. Good step forward for number 29 for York, and a lovely ball down the side that gets knocked off by Lancaster, so it's her ball once again. That's a really good, taking it quickly from the York wing back, another final year student, which, as I said, I will be saying for a lot of the girls playing here today. It has been deflected across the middle, and Lancaster have got it on the attack. Well stepped by the wing back. Number 40 for York has taken it. She's appealing to the umpire for something, but it's not been given.
One back by Lancaster, and they've got it in the 25, one a foot, so it'll be a Lancaster ball just inside the 25.
Yeah, again, you can't help but feel that Lancaster are incredibly dangerous on the counter-attack here compared to York. Ball has been lifted into the body of the Lancaster player by her own stick, so it's a York free ball. Try to play it quickly through from the centre back, and it has gotten there straight out to the winger, Amelie, number 10, who is one of the freshers here at York. She is a defender by trade, but the ladies' twos are very defensive heavy, so she's been pushed up to midfield for today. She's got a lot of good stick skills, so I would have a look at her on that midfield.
Yeah, definitely one to watch out for.
It has been picked up. Really good tackle there from the Lancaster captain, number 15. He plays a really lovely ball through the middle. Lifted up into the body of number 40 off her own stick. So it's a Lancaster free, once again taken by their captain. Makes a really nice ball to our winger, who able to get there first. And York have managed to intercept it in the D, but there is a foul. So back stick from York results in a short corner for Lancaster. Again, we mentioned it earlier, and number 15 for Lancaster is really, really controlling this game well. She's a really good vision of the board, of the pitch, it seems.
Yeah, she's making some really great big crash balls through, and also just she seems to, like you said, really have a good idea of where everyone is on the pitch, and just be really in control.
Also, the same forward, whose number I cannot see at this moment, but I will get it to you as soon as I can. She's been on the end of a lot of those balls. She's been playing through a lot of players, and yeah, I think she's going to be a real threat for Lancaster. It's pulled out straight to the left, ball played across goal, and came and it is missed the York defender, 16. So it is a 16 for York. That's a really strong ball put across.
Yeah, that was a really, really good crash ball through.
Yeah, so Lancaster are hoping someone to get on the end of that on the back post, and they haven't been there, so York are spared again at a short corner. Again, you can't help, York have not really had much attacking threat so far in this game. Their defence, while being very strong, you can't win a game by defending. Good interception from Lancaster, and they've overturned it in a really dangerous place, but number 21 manages to pick it up and launch the counter-attack for York. It's just been picked up by Lancaster, a bit scrappy one-on-one there, but York managed to come out on top, and they win the foul. It's being taken by York number 40, just inside on the pitch, and straight off the back line. No one there for the pass that she has made. Again, the disconnect, it seems, between the back line and the rest of the pitch. Is that coming from the midfield, do you think, or is it the forwards?
I think maybe if the forwards could step a bit further back just so that they're helping out a bit more. Although I'll look out for it a bit more because it could just be that they need to step actually further forwards to make more room for their mids to make better leads. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Lancaster put it straight off the sideline, so it's a York ball once again. Number 40 looking for a pass, but Lancaster pressing incredibly well. It's picked up and it hits a York foot. So Lancaster have a free and they've taken it quickly, driving it down the line, and once again getting it straight to one of their forwards. It is a foul from York, so Lancaster will have the ball, again taken quickly. They're launching these counter-attacks incredibly well, Lancaster. But York have won it back and won a free in the middle of the pitch. That was number 21 again, their centre mid. Izzy Rosser, this is her first Roses, as she was injured last year, didn't get to play. I know full well that she's been excited about this game for weeks. And it is in the Lancaster D for the first time, but cleared very easily by the keeper. York have managed to get a bit more pressure on there, which is good from them, good to see. And it's a sideline ball, but again, there's not much movement from York up front. They feel a bit disconnected, and it's a really lovely pickup from number 37, but Lancaster are able to get in front of it and clear it up the pitch.
And York have won it back, but it's interesting to see that the Lancaster counter-attack, which York have managed to...
bit of a thrown stick there from the York centre-back in trying to get the ball, but she has missed it, and it is Lancaster have got free on the sideline. That was thrown away a little bit by York there.
Yeah.
They had control. They didn't have much pressure under them, but just a misplaced pass.
Yeah. It just seems like the pressure's getting to them a little bit, the York team. But they've managed to get it through into the middle of the pitch. That was much nicer, much well cleared than their other 16s have been recently, so that was nice to see from York.
Foot though from York means that Lancaster with the ball once again. It's a real shame. It feels like we're not really stringing together more than one or two passes. Lancaster captain makes a lovely ball out wide, just missed by their forward, and it is a York ball once again. Yeah, it feels like we're saying that a lot. There's a lot of turnover in this game. Neither team is stringing together more than one or two passes at a time, and I think if either one of them wants to get something out of this game, they need to make sure that they're actually building up the play a bit more and not just trying to run forward.
I think that will be pivotal in this game. Just whichever team can make sure they're keeping possession of the ball the best moving forwards. I think that will have a really big impact on the scoreline.
No, absolutely. And Lancaster take it just outside the 25, which means this ball can go straight into the D if they choose to. But picked up by centre forward there from York. And one of the wingers has got it in their own half. She is away on her own. There's one defender running alongside her. You need York to come. She needs some help. There's a player behind her. Whether she finds it or not is... And the Lancaster defender has dropped her stick, played across the D. And Lancaster managed to get there in front of it. That was a really lovely run from the York winger there. Really well worked, and the defender wasn't able to stop her. Now they must work back because Lancs have put a counter-attack in. York centre-back manages to get there and unfortunately loses possession. Lancaster have won the ball again in their attacking half. It must be played back there. They didn't stop it. When a foul is won in hockey, you must make sure the ball is very clearly stopped so the rest of the team can set up in regards to you. They're very strict about that. Good play from the Lancaster captain.
Lovely ball
and once again thrown straight to the York defence. Number 15 again for Lancaster picks it up. She seems to be everywhere in that centre. She controls this pitch really well. But York has picked it back up. Number 37 is driving it out the wing. Again, she needs some help here. The York players are attacking really well individually, but need to be able to support each other as well. Number 40, Mia Batchelor, takes it, drives towards the D, makes a pass across, and the Lancaster player gets there first.
Yeah, I think we just need to see a bit more support from the York forwards when their mids making those runs, because we've seen a couple of really lovely runs from them up the wing, but they're just not managing to find anyone else to get the ball to once they're up there. But it's really positive. We're seeing some much more action up in York's attacking end.
Big ball through from number 60 from York, and Lancaster pick it up in their own D and knock it wide. So it will be a York ball, but the Lancaster defender does well to keep it out of danger. It's the safest place to clear the ball, and yeah, York have got it up here. Need to make sure that they can actually link the passes together. It's very, very crowded where that free is being taken from, and it is put off the back line for a Lancaster hit out. Again, another free wasted by York. Are they trying to do too much, or do they need to just simplify it, or is it that the players aren't getting in the right places?
I think it's a bit of the last two you said there. So they're not quite. I think the players aren't quite getting into positions they should be in. Although we're definitely seeing a lot of improvement on that end. So that was a really nice bit of play there from York. They managed to get the ball just outside the D, but unfortunately gave away a foot. And Lancaster are back on the counter-attack in the York half.
That's a lovely ball that is intercepted there. Unfortunately, isn't able to keep a hold of it, but they have managed to slow down this counter-attack. And as we've said time and time again, Lancaster's counter-attack seems to be their most dangerous play. So to be able to get back and work on it for players who were all up attacking before, really well done from York. Watched out by the York keeper, and it is a Lancaster long corner, which means it's taken back to the 25 line. Again, the ball must go 5 before it's put into the D. Otherwise, it will be immediately overturned again. Captain, number 15, comes up to take it. Makes a really lovely ball. It's just touched outside the D, so it's fine. But cleared out by York, but not quite safe enough. It's hit a bit of scrappy play there, but York managed to keep possession. Put it into a dangerous place, though, to the centre-back at the top of the D, who manages very calmly to get rid of it. I must say, as a defender, I wouldn't be happy with my midfielder playing a ball back to me into my own D whenever we're under that much pressure.
No, absolutely not. They had a lot of pressure on them right there at the top, but the centre-back did a really good job of clearing it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with York. I think that's why it keeps getting overturned so easily. Whenever they are defending, and it's because they're clearing a lot of balls through the middle of the pitch where Lancaster all are. They just throw some wide more. Whether it hits, it's better for it to miss and go out, but at least be in a safe place where they can then set up, rather than currently where they're putting it directly to all of Lancaster's most dangerous players.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they could really, which they're doing right now, use the right wing a lot more. They had their really nice counter-attack, which happened with the brilliant run up the right wing.
A York foot there, which the crowd didn't seem too happy to hear called. Yeah, they're starting to cheer. They're starting to get a bit louder now. The York crowd along with me. We've got a huge turnout here at the JLD with the entire hockey club and more alike for both Lancaster and York. Both have got huge hockey clubs here down at the weekend, so it's always a good atmosphere here with 7 outfield games and 4 indoor games every year. Cleared out by York, but they're unable to get on the end of it, and it's a Lancaster sideline just outside the 25.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see as well how many parents and alumni come to support. Really brilliant turnout here.
Yes, absolutely, and a lot of dogs here, which I'm particularly happy about. Picked up in the middle by 15. Lancaster are able to win a free and drive it straight towards the D. Tackle by York, though, really good from York number 6 to get her stick in there without fouling. And Lancaster have still got a lot of pressure on, though. York need to work together to get it out. That's a nice play from the York number 40, but unfortunately just clips her foot. So it is a Lancaster free just outside the D. Dangerous place to be giving away fouls, but I think that York has given them York a time to settle in, and they've shown that they're stepping in front of their players really well. And Lancaster miss it. It's directly to the York centre forward, and they counter straight to the winger, number 12. She plays it forward to the captain. It clips the Lancaster foot and slows down, but it's still York's ball. And they play it backwards. Good. This is the first time York has really kept possession there, and they're in a really good pace. Passing it around the D. They win a foul just outside. That was really, really good play from York.
Yeah, definitely really much better. It's really looking lovely out there.
Really good from the captain to pick it up from that goal. Kept really calm and reset and got ahead of her player. Ball, though, unfortunately, has not travelled 5 before it's gone into the D, so it's overturned for a Lancaster ball. But no, that counter-attack looked really, really good from York. If they can get a couple numbers higher next time, I think that there's something there. That was number 12. from York, who made a lot of that run. A fresher here for her first time at Roses. So you can see the nerves not getting to her at least, which is good to see. Picked up by 112 in the middle in York, and the centre forward knocks it wide. Number 38 plays it back across the middle, and York are not able to get on it strongly. But there is a quick stoppage from the umpire as a player's been hit in the face. She seems to be all right. Happens a lot of time with hockey players, and they just kind of get on with it. It will be a Lancaster ball as there was still a York foul. But yeah, they've just stopped the game to make sure she's okay.
She looks like she's fine.
She does look like she's fine. She's a tough cookie, clearly. But hockey players have hit with a lot worse than that. And the game is restarted by the umpire. Played out from the back really nicely by Lancaster, but York are able to just get on it in the middle there. Again, those middle 2 quarters are incredibly scrappy from both teams. But I think it's more so that they're both defensively getting in really good positions.
Yeah,
there's always 2 players behind the ball. It's in the D, lift controlled really nicely by the Lancaster centre back, and unfortunately York come in with a bad tackle, and it is their ball. That was really nice from the Lancaster player, able to bring it down safely so that no foul was given. But it's directly sent to the centre forward for York.
This is a great opportunity for York.
Captain has got it, but she wins it back off the defender. But no, it was a stick tackle, so the Lancaster defender is able to keep it out. York seem like they've really picked it up here. They're putting a lot more pressure on, and it's not getting out as easily. And I have just jinxed it, I fear, because as soon as I say that, the ball bounces off a York stick and through to their winger.
And Lancaster on the counter-attack.
But again, good defence.
Cleared out to a Lancaster player, and cleared really well at this time. Down the wing from number 12 for York, straight to the captain, and it's been tackled by Lancaster.
Again, second player for both teams are doing really, really well. Someone's going in for the initial tackle, and there's always someone set behind them to take it once the ball goes slightly off course.
Yeah.
But York have managed to get it back to the middle. Their centre forward puts a ball wide, and there's no one there. So it will be a Lancaster ball right in deep in the corner sideline. But like the one thing York always seem to have is they have their 4 defenders are always behind the ball anytime there's a break.
Yeah, they're always on those counter-attacks, which I think is really important because Lancaster are getting so many of them that if they do manage to break through that York defence on any of the counter-attacks, I think that will be like a really pivotal moment. And the counter-attacks seem to like they're going to be a really important part of this match because we've had so many of them. So it would just be a matter of seeing which of the 2 teams, if either, will manage to capitalise on them.
Lovely triangles made there by York, but it's put out by a Lancaster centre-back and on for a sideline. That was some really good play from York, making sure they kept it around the D. Ball has gone in. It's a bit scrappy in the D, but centre forward has it. It's taken a great strike, but the keeper gets there. Again, top of the D. Number 37 for York has it and puts it off the back line. First shot on goal that York has had in this game.
Strike, saved by the keeper.
Yeah, one of the top goal scorers from this team, number 28, took that first strike, but the keeper was in the right place. There was a really difficult angle she decided to take it from. You would have had to see something very special, but she's won it straight back. She's doing really well in the press. She's driven it into the D. You can see she's looking for a foot, and she hits it, and it is still being kept in play by the keeper. Ball has gone in, but apparently it has gone off before that moment, despite the fact the umpire had not called it. So you cannot blame the York player for playing on. And it has gone out for a long corner. You can't help feel a little disappointed because that was what would have been a very, very nice goal for York.
Really lovely, yeah. But they've retained the ball.
You know, absolutely. It feels like the momentum is now in their favour, but Lancaster are defending really well. It has been put out again the back, another long corner for York off the defender's stick. Again, Lancaster is stepping in front of that ball every single time. The York forwards need to do a little bit more in order to get there first in the day.
Yeah, Lancaster have their whole team inside the York's attacking 25 right now, so York are going to have to work really hard making use of triangles and just making lots of small passes, I think, to get around those players because there are just so many of them in there.
Absolutely. I almost feel, though, with when they're deciding to park the bus like this, Lancaster, that the York defence then need to come up and take a bit more part in the attack.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's no point hanging 10 metres away from them because even if they overturn it, they're miles away from the ball. So it feels like the York need to, if Lancaster are going to park like that, York need to shift up with them.
Yeah, completely. Because then also, because York, the defenders are hanging so far back, the mids can't really get the ball back to them. So if they can move up a bit more, then they can really help out much more.
Yeah, it feels like York are basically putting themselves in an underload in all their attacking situations. And Lancaster have run it the whole way up, but stepped by the York defender. But again, straight to the Lancaster ball, winger on the wide. It's played out wide, but just knocked off the York stick. Again, we've seen another clearance from York that's just been given directly back to the attack. They are putting themselves under that pressure. They make it back really, really well, and they make the first tackle. They just need to have a look up and look for a pass rather than just firing it wherever they can.
Yeah, you can understand why she was under such pressure, though. She was right in front of the goal. But yeah, just taking that one extra moment to make sure that she's clearing it out either into the space or to a York player.
Lancaster win a foot and take it quickly, so the York defender is unable to touch her. Well in from the York midfielder, and it has been taken by York, who tries to clear it, but Lancaster get a reverse stick on it. A lot of hits across, and number 40 manages to get it, but straight to a Lancaster ball. She has won a foot though. Plays it quickly out before Lancaster can get back. That's number 37 has got it on the wing for York. Playing it down. Who's there to help her though? Again, she's running by herself. That's a lovely pass to the York centre forward. And a big ball into the D, but no one is there to get it.
Beautiful ball through from the centre forward up into the D, but just couldn't quite get on the end of it from the other forward.
Yeah, that was a really good attack from York. A ball put in the perfect. You want to be placing those big balls in across. She saw the space of the D, put it into the goal right next to the post, but the York forward wasn't quick enough there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to see from York, though.
No, that's a much better attack, and Lancaster have it from a 16. For anyone just tuning in with us, it is still 0 to York, 0 to Lancaster for the Ladies 2's outdoor hockey. Doesn't feel like we've had really any close calls, but we've had that one York goal that was after the whistle blown, but not really any many shots on goal. But Lancaster have now got a big run through. First tackle made by and the keeper gets across to save it.
And it's been cleared really nicely by the York defence.
And
Lancaster have the ball again.
But they're not in a dangerous position because it was cleared high enough up the pitch.
Yeah.
York are now pressing again, and a ball in the middle. Players are completely free in the attacking 25, but they aren't able to link passes up, and York get the ball again. That was a really well-handled counter. The centre-back made the first tackle, and the keeper, a really awkwardly weighted ball. She was able to dive across and keep away from her net. Number
really
1,
well
Imi Cole for York in nets. A really seasoned keeper for York.
That was a lovely interception from the Lancaster forward, but just missed the ball on the swing.
Yeah, York will be careful there. The pitch is incredibly dry today, as it's been incredibly hot for the last few days. Skipping balls across the middle like that are very, very ambitious, considering the fact that the pitch isn't moving as quickly as usual. But York worked it out well from the back. Lancaster on top of them, as they have been the full game, but York are able to keep possession. It's been a very even game, very end-to-end since York have picked it up a little bit. What do you think?
Really struggling to tell which team is looking like they're going to come on top of this, actually.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment it is still very much dependent on the counter-attacks because there have just been so many opportunities from them. But currently no one's managed to get anything from it.
Another big ball put across the middle in a dangerous area, dealt with really, really well by the York centre-back. You can't help but feel they're putting some of their defenders in a bit of an awkward place there. Ball is unfortunately lost by York. It was controlled well, but then the tackle was made by Lancaster. Number 15 for Lancaster has it, taking it right at the top of the D, and a ball is laid wide, but no one is there. Stick tackle from Lancaster, and York have got possession once again. Good, taken quickly by York before Lancaster have time to set up, but what are they going to do with it now? Played across the middle. Number 37 for York turns and is looking to put it wide again. Does she? No, back to the defenders, but again, retaining possession for York. Really lovely ball from number 6 for York, who then makes the run and almost picks it up again.
It on the right.
But really well, that's the idea from York. That's the way they want to be playing. They want to look for those triangles.
Much better there.
Absolutely. Touch from Lancaster takes them through to the 25. The defender has missed it, and number 81 is free on goal, and she puts it wide.
Missed.
Again, 81, that player that we've highlighted a few times in this game, is making some
such a good job.
Really good interceptions.
Yeah, and really putting the York defence under a lot of pressure there. She's always just seems to be on everything.
No, agreed. She would be one where I wouldn't be trying to put any balls near her. I feel she wants to go. She's hungry for it, and that's exactly what you want from a forward. So she's definitely one for the York defence to really need to be keeping an eye on. Number 86 for Lancaster pressing high and forcing it back, centre back again for York, but they've still got possession. Lancaster stepped in and taking it off the centre back. Is she going to take the shot?
And it's a Lancaster goal.
That is a Lancaster goal, number 81 for Lancaster. We've just said that we thought a goal was coming for her, and she's gone and done it. Interception off the back from Lancaster, and really good play. And that is right before the final whistle. That is going to be half-time for York. So as it stands, we've just seen Lancaster have just scored against York. So it is 1-0 to Lancaster. That was number 81, Cami forward, who has scored for Lancaster. She is a second-year student here and played last year. So yeah, good to see a goal there from Lancaster. Can't help but feel that they had the pressure for a lot of that first half while York was getting it back at the end. Do you think that goal was earned?
I think it was in the works, definitely. I mean, York were looking much better towards the later part of that half. They had the ball in their attacking half much more. But especially at the beginning of that half, Lancaster really had the upper hand there, had possession much more, and were looking much more dangerous.
Yeah, no, absolutely. York had some really close chances in that end of that first half. One that actually went into the net, but it was called after the whistle, so unfortunately not a goal. And so they'll be very disappointed to have conceded that close to the end there. But I still think that this will be a very close game. It's been incredibly end-to-end. I don't think that it will end 1-0 for here. So what we're going to move on to now for the halftime, we've got a couple of interviews for you guys. We've got some York alumni that have been on the sideline coming here to support. So yeah, we'll take you to them. Okay, we're here with Marion Thompson, who graduated York over this last summer. She was the old president. So yeah, how are you feeling being back in York?
Oh, I'm loving it being back. Lovely to see some hockey again. I've missed it.
Yeah, and what do you think of this game so far, and any of the games that you've seen today?
I think this game, there's an unlucky goal just then before the end of the half. But we're still in it. I think there's a win coming.
Absolutely. And who would you say on this team, who would be your player to watch as someone who's seen the club for 3 years beforehand and knows most of these players pretty well?
That's a good question. I mean, Imi, the keeper, she's, top quality goalkeeper. I think she's got a lot of saves in her for the rest of the game.
Oh, absolutely. And what colour are roses, Maz?
White.
Good to hear. Thank you so much. And Sabina, what do you think York need to change then in the second half?
I think they need to just make sure that they're staying really calm over the ball and taking an extra moment before they play it, so that they're not turning over the ball as much. I think they just need to try to keep possession as much as they can. But they've been doing a really good job of keeping control of those Lancaster counter-attacks. Obviously the goal at the end there. But I think that was it was well deserved from Lancaster, and there wasn't much York could do about it. It was left with just Imi against the goalkeeper with two Lancaster players. So yeah, not much that could have been done there.
No, absolutely. And we've got another interview here for you now. Another York alumni who has come down to watch the game. So who am I here with?
I'm Connie.
And how come you've come come back to Roses this year?
I live in York now. I obviously loved it so much I couldn't leave. So why not make the extra special trip down for the weekend?
So as someone who played both on this team while you were at uni and the ladies ones, how are you feeling about this game? What do you think York need to do?
Well, I'm not even playing and I can already feel that sort of anticipation and hope that we can achieve a win out of this. Obviously it's such a shame to see Lancaster score a goal right before the whistle goes for half time, but I know the girls can pull it back.
You also you still play hockey after leaving uni?
Yeah, I play for City of York, wonderful side. A lot of the girls on both the uni teams and City of York just have a great time, and it's obviously wonderful to see as many people play as possible.
Brilliant. And what is your score prediction, dare I ask, for the rest of this game?
I'm hoping the girls are going to pull it back, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win.
2-1 win, last minute win, do you think, for York then?
Well, I hope they don't leave it till the last minute, but obviously if that's what makes it happen, then I'm happy for that to be the case.
And just the same question I asked Maz beforehand. If you had a player to watch, who would you pick, except for Imi, as that has already been discussed?
I'm going to go for the president, Mia Batchelor. I think she's got some secret skills that she can pull out to get the girls through the second half of the game.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming to speak to us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the game and it goes the way you predicted.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
completely agree with both of them on the players to watch there. I think Imi Call, she's played for the ones previously. She's a really, really strong keeper. So I think we'll see some good saves from her yet to come. And Mia Batchelor, the current president, she's got one of the things I love most about her play is watching her slaps. She's got a really, really strong slap pass. And we've already seen a couple of good ones from her, some crash balls through, but I think we'll see much more of those to come.
No, absolutely. I would also agree. I also think for me, for York, number 37, Fleur Barrett in the middle there. She was she scored at the indoor hockey yesterday morning, and she's a really, really strong midfielder. She is someone who's developed from a development player in this club to now playing on the ladies' twos as a starter, and she's one of their highlight players. They play through her a lot in the middle, and yeah, she for me would be another one. We've already obviously highlighted, for me, the two for Lancaster have currently shown it for me would be their number 15 captain and their number 81 forward. But is there anyone else for you, Lancaster, who stood out to you?
I think the Lancaster left back, number 75, has been really solid in the back. She's made a lot of really good tackles, so I think she's also one to watch.
Brilliant. So we have restarted here at the JLD. The sun has finally come out, so it's no longer as cold. And York have immediately won possession. 3-1 by Mia Batchelor, number 40. If you missed the first half, it's been deflected off the sideline, but if you missed the first half, it is currently 1 to Lancaster and 0 to York. So Lancaster taking it in literally the last 10 seconds of the half, scoring a goal and a counter-attack they've taken off the York defence. And York now will be coming back with a vengeance, trying to fix it. It has been put out wide by Izzy Rosser, really well picked up on the reverse by number 40. And yeah, really quick, York have come in with a counter, with an attack, and they are showing that they're not going to take this sitting down.
Yeah, holding on to possession really well there, number 40, and it's his York ball on the pitch. Oh no, just the sideline now.
Again, it is a penalty being taken within the 25, so it must move 5 metres before it can be put into the D. And picked up by a Lancaster player, but York are able to get it. The York player unfortunately loses possession as she goes to turn. That is number 28 for York, Kaya. And she's the one who took that really lovely couple of lovely strikes in the first half. She's got quite a hit on her, I must say. It's not one I like standing in front of when I'm defending.
Scary one.
But she's just unfortunately been dispossessed there. But York have won it straight back and are back in the 25 attacking. They've done exactly what we said they needed to do and move their back line up. And it's paid off because not only are they there to help attacking, but defensively they're able to stop a counter-attack before it can even begin.
Yeah.
So it's really good to see that they've done that. That will be good team talk by coach Heather McDonald. The hockey club have had a new coach this year, York. Heather coaches all of our teams, men's and women's, as well as being the local coach at the City of York Hockey Club.
I think she's everyone's favourite person right now.
I think that pretty much sums it up. I don't think I've ever met a person who has ever had a problem with Heather. She's been brilliant for the club. She's a brilliant person, and not to mention, she does all of it currently in a big leg brace because she tore her ACL a couple seasons ago as a player herself. And yeah, so it's good to have a local coach as well as a York alumni coaching us here at the hockey club.
Yeah, she's made a really, really big impact on the club.
Yeah, I'll take any excuse to talk about Heather. But yeah, York have turned it over and have had it turned over, and it's a Lancaster ball in their defensive quarter. York managed to get in with a tackle from the captain, but it's hit her foot, unfortunately, so it is a Lancaster ball. Lancaster now, obviously, they're the team going into this half 1 up. What do they need to do to keep a hold of that?
I think because they have an advantage now, so I think they also just need to try and stay really level-headed and not make any silly mistakes. I think that would be really important for them. Just try to keep possession because they have got the advantage at the moment and not give away the ball unnecessarily.
No, absolutely agree with you there. They need to keep control of this game. They can play it around the back as long as they want. There's no reason for them to be forcing it, and that's what they're currently showing. Number 89 has it for Lancaster. Tries to put a ball down the line, and the York forward gets it, but she manages to keep onto it. York again taking number 81 off for Lancaster, but runs it off the sideline. So it's a a York sideline, my apologies. Number 40 takes it again. Looking for a big ball down the wing, it seems, but she doesn't take it. And Lancaster come in, that high press again for Lancaster paying off, but it was a stick tackle, so York keep possession. Big ball down the line, and it goes off the side back, unfortunately. The York forward is not able to get it. Lancaster are getting a lot of luck, they're getting a lot of the ball back from this high press. They're doing it really, really well.
I think especially because York are playing with 4 defenders, whereas Lancaster are only playing with 3, so they've got more players up high. And so they're just managing to put York under a lot of pressure.
Great play from number 81, put across the 78, who runs it into the D, puts it across goal, and it is missed by the Lancaster forward. That is a brilliant counter-attack, again, led by number 81 for Lancaster, who is just shown from start to finish. And I don't think she's even been subbed off the pitch right now.
No.
Clearly one of their players that they are trying to work through. York have it again, though. Put it down, and it's run by the York midfielder, who loses it in the middle of the pitch.
And 81 on the ball again in the D. She takes the shot, but she misses, so it'll be a York. Oh no, it looks like it came off the York defender, so it's going to be a long corner for Lancaster.
And it is brought up. Their captain steps up to take it, number 15. She runs it wide, trying to move it 5 meters herself before it can be put into the D, but York get in front of it and play it wide. And York are just able to keep a hold of it, play it across the middle, but Lancaster get a touch. Number 12 for York managed to get it on the wing, and she is running, but she's got a defender next to her. And unfortunately, she loses it off the sideline, so it will be a Lancaster ball. York really need to keep this press up high, try and keep the ball down in this area. They cannot be doing it. It's end-to-end stuff because they will just get exhausted.
It was really well cleared by the York defenders. Just lost the ball, I think, just needed to slow the play down a little bit to try and keep possession there.
That's a great touch for the York player to get the ball. But unfortunately, she tackles the player with her stick. So number 32 loses it for York, and 89 will come up for Lancaster to take the ball. York are setting up in their press, and they're squeezing it in the middle there. Touched by York, and they managed to overturn it. Now they just need to hold on to possession, which they have managed to do. But Lancaster running in really quickly from number 78 to put a big ball across the middle, but there's no one there other than York defenders. The York centre-back runs it up herself straight into another player, but Lancaster put it into their own foot, so York are able to keep onto it. You feel some frustration from the defence. They're putting a lot of really good balls through. They're working really hard, and I feel like they're feeling their team aren't getting on top of it. But what you don't want to see is them trying to do too much themselves.
Yeah, they don't want to tie themselves out, especially because the conditions here are getting a bit warmer. It's still quite windy, but the sun's come out, so they could be getting quite tired at this point.
Yeah, it's a good touch by the Lancaster captain for a sideline, but you just keep onto it, and Lancaster have overturned it again. Good tackle by number 40, who is now looking for someone to give a pass to. She's trying to get it out of danger. But Lancaster are coming in strong. Unfortunately, it's a stick tackle by York. They lose it. Umpire is given a warning there. It appears that one of the next stick tackles for York will be looking a card. I say it because I feel like everything I say will then the opposite happens. But we haven't seen many cards today so far,
No,
which we
it
usually
doesn't
do
look
see for Roses.
Yeah, the umpires don't seem to be giving them out too much, which could be a good sign for our players, especially with the warning they just got. But they do now need to really watch their tackles, because now they've got that warning, they could be looking at a card if they make any more.
Yeah, absolutely. A really good clearance from the Lancaster player, but it goes straight off the back line, and York are in possession. However, they're deep in their own 25 again, and have lost all of the ground they got from the counter. What we say about cards for York, cards work in hockey a little bit differently than they do in other sports.
Yeah, so we've got the green card, yellow card, and red card in hockey. Green card is just 2 minutes off, which that will probably be if there's just so the warning they just got. If they do another stick tackle, it'll probably just be a green card, unless it's a particularly bad one, in which case it could be a yellow. But yeah, you can get 2 types of yellow cards. You can have either a 5-minute yellow or a 10-minute yellow, depending on the severity of the tackle or whatever it was that happened, and you can of course get a red card, which just means same as it does in most sports, I think.
Yes,
Can't be coming back
I
on
don't
the
know about
pitch.
you. I've never had anyone red carded in my career. I've had plenty of greens and yellows. Not me personally, but other players. But really lovely play from York through the middle. But then it is overturned by the Lancaster defender. It's that player that you were referring to earlier, who you say has played really well, and I do agree. She's this player is stepping in front really, really well.
Yeah,
And
Lancaster number 75 there.
yes, that's the one. Thank you. And York have got it again. Yeah, we have yet to see a red card at Rose's full stop in my time at university, and I again hope it stays that way. It's
Yeah.
quite severe because cards don't double up in hockey like they would in football, for example. You could get 6 yellows, and as long as you're not done anything particularly disgusting, you will stay on the pitch once those are run out. But it's still a massive disadvantage to lose a player for a period of time, even as it is such a fast-paced sport. And York have got it in the middle, but again, scrappy play is bouncing between the York and Lancaster midfielders. Apologies if we get drowned out by the card at any point. They're starting to pick up right now. Yeah, no, it's really good, though, to see support for both York and Lancaster. The sun's come out, and I think it's brought the people with it.
Yeah, definitely. I think for anyone who was watching or listening to the indoor hockey yesterday, if anyone does happen to get a card today in the outdoor hockey, it is obviously still a big disadvantage, but I don't think it's quite as big of a disadvantage as it is in indoor hockey, but just because the pitch is so much bigger and there are so many more players. So it would be a good opportunity for the other team since they'd have the overload, but it shouldn't be detrimental for the other team.
No, it's intercepted by York in the middle by number 112, pushed out wide to number 21, who drives it down the wing, but the Lancaster player is on her back. She plays it back to her defender, and York keep possession. Some really nice passage of play there from York, and the Lancaster defender misses it. York have got a really good chance. Number 38, Millie Gotto, is driving it in the 25, looking for the pass, but great tackle from Lancaster 75 there to win the foot, and Lancaster get the ball again. That was a really good attack from York. Really nicely played, Ryan. Those triangles are something you really want to look for playing in hockey, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a really, really nice bit of play there. I think one of the best ones we've seen so far. I think if they can keep doing more of that, they'll have a really good chance of equalising.
No, absolutely. Lancaster play it out from the back. For anyone who is just joining us, it is currently 1-0 to Lancaster in the Hockey Women's Twos fixture. 1-0 to Lancaster, which would be their first win of the day in outdoor hockey, as York won both the threes fixtures earlier on today. And York have overturned the Lancaster ball. Really lovely picked up from the midfielder for York in the air there, and she gets it again off of the Lancaster captain. Played across the middle, and again, 112 plays a really lovely ball. She is really working those triangles really, really well. We just missed it, though, and it is now a Lancaster sideline. Number 89
was doing a really good job there of controlling the play in the middle and just making sure that she clears the ball well. She had 3 Lancaster players on her there.
Lancaster miss it from their play back, but the York forward is unable to capitalise on it, and she gives away a foul. That was a really good opportunity for York, and they've just missed it there. She was very, very close to taking that ball in a really dangerous area, but it is Lancaster's ball inside their own 25.
Yeah, that was well handled there by Lancaster.
Yeah, really good stuff from the keeper there, able to use her stick, and rather than just booting it away, making sure she got the pass back to her player. Really impressive to see from a keeper who obviously they try to use their stick as little as possible. But no, the Lancaster keeper hasn't really been tested much in this game, so we're yet to see much from her today. And the ball's gone out for a York sideline, a York free on the pitch.
Yeah, both of the keepers today have had haven't had very much to do. I think York's goalkeeper Amy has had a little bit more pressure on her, but both of them so far have had quite a calm game.
Yes, because most of the possession's been in the middle of the pitch, bar. It's been a very counter-attacking game, which means the keepers haven't really had to do much because there's very little play in around them. A lot of the counter-attacks have ended from actually mistakes from the players themselves or from a defender stepping in front.
Yeah, and it's a York ball in their half, under a lot of pressure from the Lancaster forwards, though.
And York knock it off the sideline. They're not just able to control it there, and Lancaster have the ball in their attacking half. Again, it feels much of the same in this half. York came out really, really strong at the start, and then since then it's devolved into quite a scrappy midfield base game. Good ball pass through, but just not quite to the right place. And Lancaster knock it up the pitch. And it takes a York stick on the way through, and it is a Lancaster sideline. York, it feels like they seem quite despondent right now. What do they need to do now for the rest of this half?
I think they just need to keep their heads up and put, like they did a really good job just there of putting a lot of pressure on the defenders, made them make a mistake. So I think if they can keep that up, keeping lots of pressure on the ball, then they've got a really good chance of getting another goal.
Just off the back line there, came off a York defender, so it is a Lancaster long corner. York have the time to set up though as the ball is being put back into play. Get themselves behind the ball. You can see the defenders talking to each other, and the communication seems to have been really, really strong between the defenders today, as they have prevented any time they've had the chance to set up, nothing has come through. And
yeah, really well cleared there from Vice Captain Izzy Rosa.
Despite being a midfielder, she is all over the place. She is one of the most energetic players on this pitch. She's also the player to watch today for York Ladies 2s. She is, so she's really strong in that midfield there. A really good leader as the vice captain. And she has just taken a ball to the knee as I start talking about her. Seems to be okay, walking it off, but umpires again stop play just to make sure of it. Hockey's a game with a lot of little injuries like that where you just got to make sure that it's nothing serious, and then they play on. And York have taken it. Number 81 puts a great ball into the D, but York get in front of it first, and it is cleared wide by them. And it becomes a Lancaster sideline. That was a really nice crash ball, but York have just got in front of it there. Lancaster just forwards needing to get in better positioning. Played out by York and intercepted, but Lancaster win it back and keep it in a dangerous area. Bit scrappy there, and York have won the free to get it out. Really good work from the York midfielder to keep her team in possession. It's just been missed in the middle there by 37, but number 12 comes in, just loses her balance, and York forwards are really trying to keep it down here. But Lancaster have managed to get it in the middle of the pitch. 81 making a big run wide, trying to get it towards the D. Lovely pass in a reverse, put into the D. Keeper comes out and makes the save, but Lancaster get the second ball. And that is a really, really lovely attack by Lancaster.
That was a really well worked goal, yeah, definitely.
Again, started from number 81 for Lancaster, and she makes a lovely pass. Worked really, really well in down the baseline. The keeper did really well, Imi, to make the first save there, but she's on her, she's down on the floor, and she can't make the second one.
Yeah, not much she can do about that. And the York players were around her trying to clear the ball, and there was one on the back line who tried to stop it, but Lancaster just managed to get on the rebound and put it into the back of the goal.
Yeah, so it is now 2 to Lancaster and 0 to York. Not the result that York will be hoping for, but the game is not done yet. There's still plenty of time to go, and as we know, these games can change in a second. Not quite as quickly as the indoor yesterday, but it takes less than a minute to score a goal in hockey, and there could still be a lot more in this half for both teams.
Yeah, definitely still all to play for, but Lancaster, I think, now just need to keep possession because they have a big advantage now. And York on the attack on the left, and it's just passed back to the left back into the middle of the pitch.
Good from York, really nice stuff. Tackle from York and from Lancaster is good, but York have managed to keep possession. They're just playing it round the back, really trying to keep it, and this is exactly what they need to do. It's so easy when you go down like this to try and force it through and do something massive with it, but at the end of the day, there's no point forcing it and doing things quickly if you're doing it quickly to a Lancaster stick. Good from number 37, who retains it, out to number 40, Mia Batchelor, and onto the York midfielder, who runs it through the middle. Some lovely skill, but Lancaster is there. Lancaster is there to overturn it.
Yeah, Casey!
And it's a bit scrappy in the middle, and York seem to have won it back. But Lancaster are on it. But they won the foot against Lancaster, so it'll be a York ball within their attacking 25.
York now have it in their attacking 25, looking for a pass back, and they've missed the pass back, but Their centre-back has managed to retain it, unfortunately losing them a bit of ground. Big ball through, lovely touch, but Lancaster are able to get on the end of it. It does feel like Lancaster are stepping in front of so many of these balls. They're really switched on here, this Lancaster team.
Yeah, and I think maybe just the pressure of being 2-0 down, I'm not sure if that's getting to the York players a little bit, but it seems like they're not quite taking as much time on the ball as they were just a few minutes ago, giving away the ball a bit more. Yeah, but so far, crash ball through from Lancaster. And York have turned it over again.
Really good interception from number 40, but Lancaster are there to tackle her. Again, it feels like everything the York players do, there are 2 Lancaster players there with them. But kept in the middle by York, who plays it down the wing, a little bouncing ball, but it does hit the Lancaster player above the knee, which means it is their ball. In hockey, you cannot, if there is a player in front of you cannot lift the ball above knee height unless it is miles above knee height in the air. The danger rules for hockey are... I think they make a lot of sense to hockey players and don't make sense to many other people.
Yeah, I think for someone watching hockey for the first time, they're probably quite confusing, especially once aerials start coming out, the big overhead balls, because the rules for those can be a bit confusing. It's interesting, actually, earlier it looked like one of the Lancaster players was like signalling to the player who had possession to throw an aerial to them, but we haven't seen any aerials come out, so we'll see if that happens yet.
Yeah, it will be interesting if Lancaster have that aerial threat of why they haven't used it yet, but clearly they're 2-0 up, they haven't needed to. There are players on this York team who may be willing to do the same, but not really how this team tend to play. They're a lot more focused on little balls through the midfield, again working through those central players. They're number 21, they're number 37, who they always are looking to play balls through, and they have been getting a lot of luck of. It's just breaking down outside that middle of the pitch. But York win the free in their own 25, and they are able to try and play it out. Slap from Mia Batchelor is sent straight off the sideline, unfortunately, and Lancaster are in possession once again. Yeah, it feels like the team's deflated a lot, and it is difficult when you end up in this position. It's hard enough being 1 goal down, being 2 then feels incredibly tricky. But the game is not over, and York have intercepted it. But it's gone straight back to Lancaster. On it from number 12, though, makes a lovely ball to the captain. I'm sorry, you can hear the cry behind me. And
Lancaster turned it over. It was a foul in the D from York captain. So it'll be a Lancaster 16.
That was a really good interception from York. They're still showing that they have still got a lot of fire in them. They still want this, as they should. There's still plenty of time left in this game to try and get something from it. You probably couldn't even hear us whenever that attack was coming, as the York crowd beside us just went absolutely mental. The sideline support is really, really good here for both teams, but we are in the York end, it seems.
Definitely, I think we'll be hearing a lot of shouts if York managed to get the ball back up there again. But that was a really, really nice counter-attack from them.
Good ball down the line to number 37, who plays it around the player, beats 2 players, beats a third, and number 12 has it, but there's a Lancaster player. Really lovely play, pull back from her, and it feels like that is a beautiful ball across the pitch from number 12. Unfortunately, the player is not quite able to get onto it, but the vision from her to see that pass is really, really strong.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what we want to see, trying to get the ball into the space to the other side of the pitch, because it seems to get really crowded with Lancaster players down the side that they're running up. So if they can transfer it or crash ball through to the other side.
And that same player has managed to win it again. She plays the ball high, but unfortunately that danger roll comes in again as it just skims past the head of a Lancaster defender. Can't help but feel that she's a bit lucky that hasn't hit her square in the face. As someone who's both people who have taken hockey balls to the face, we know that it's smart. How many concussions do you think this game's given you over the years?
Oh God, I think this is the 3rd one currently that I'm out with at the moment, so hopefully no more.
Honestly, it's terrible. It's a sport for crazy people, I think. But good play from the Lancaster defence, but York managed to turn it back over. Good drive wide from Fleur Barrett, who's looking for a pass back inside, puts it back to the defender instead. Again, good from York to keep possession, but Lancaster pressing really high. 86 is really hassling the York defender, but she keeps it calm.
That was really good pressure from 86.
keeps it calm, plays it across, and it feels like York have now got their heads back in it. They're calm, they're giving good balls, but Lancaster, a really good interception there from 81 from Lancaster, whose stick skills, again, has proven her to be one of the star players of this match. She takes it on the reverse, keeper makes
Brilliant
a diving save,
Nicole.
and Lancaster still have it, but are York able to keep it out? It's played outside of the D by Lancaster, but York are in front of it. That is a brilliant diving save from Imi Cole there.
Yeah, it was a really good reverse shot there from 81, but Imi Cole did really, really well to save that one.
After seeing very little from the keepers, it feels like every save that they've had to make have been big ones. And Lancaster take it in their own quarter. But it's a touch from York in the middle, and they win it back. York now attacking with a lot of ferocity, a lot of speed, but a lifted ball is just put off past the player, and it goes off the back line. So Lancaster have possession once again from a 16. York want this.
Yeah, they definitely do. I think they've definitely really picked up their play over the last few minutes. You can tell that they're getting their heads back in the game, and they've been looking really, really good, really strong.
That's a great ball that's gone through a lot of players from Lancaster, but number 40 for York manages to step in front of it. It's played out wide to 37. She's got her back to the attacking centre though, but managed to get turned with a little touch from Lancaster, but she still has the ball. Back, beats the player again, beats another player. That's some lovely play there, but it is lost by number 58 in the middle there. That kind of skill is what hockey is all about. But it's been overturned by York. They're attacking really strongly. Big hit across, touch from York. And it is saved on the line by Lancaster. That is a brilliant save from Lancaster from what ultimately would have been a goal. It's a lovely touch from number 12 in the York D.
Yeah, really, really unfortunate for York. That would have been such a lovely goal. It was a brilliant touch from number 12, as you said, but really, really well cleared by the Lancaster defender.
Yeah, it had beaten the keeper, so that defender managed to get back. It was number 89, if I'm not mistaken, for Lancaster who made that save. I'm very biased as a defender, but I do think sometimes a goal line save is even more exciting than a goal scored.
Yeah, it feels absolutely incredible getting a save like that as a defender.
There's literally nothing that beats it, so I know she's going to be very happy with herself, as she should be. Her keeper was incredibly happy as well, very cheering and jumping up and down because that ball had beaten her. But that's a great tackle from York in the other end to prevent another attack from number 81. Played down the line, and York are just not able to get on top of it, but their ball is now in their attacking end. They will press high to try and keep it up here. They really need to now. That is such a close call from York, who nearly managed to get a lovely touch into the goal, but it's still 2-0 to Lancaster right now as we come into the end of this second half.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to see York get a bit more play in there at D. Hopefully get a goal out of that. But that was a really, really nice hit from the York defender up the line to clear it all the way up into the Lancaster half.
York went a foot and managed to have possession just outside the 25, which means the ball can be crashed straight into the D if they choose to. Numbers in the D still looking very low for York, considering they're 2-0 down in the last 10 minutes of the game. You really want to be seeing them getting a few more players high, don't you?
Yeah, I think it'd be nice again for the defenders to push up a bit higher than they are, although they have got some Lancaster players hanging high. It's in the D.
Another lifted ball, swing and a miss from the York
goalie's
captain, and it is not able to be played by York. It is overturned,
foul.
taken very quickly by the the Lancaster defender.
Oh, it's a brilliant pick in the air
the
from
ball.
York number 12.
It is lifted into the York midfielder, and you can see number 21 bringing her team up with her. The ball has not been played yet. The foul is actually within the 25. So the umpire making sure that has been taken. Number 21 for York will be taking it just outside the D. She plays it back to one of our defenders who'll be looking for a big ball into the D. It turns. It has. The crowd are cheering for a short corner, but the umpires have not called it. So York will continue to play on. Lancaster overturn, and they will. Great tackle there from the York defender, who keeps it in her 25. Just as we've said, the York defenders have pushed up, because at the end of the day, if you lose 2-0, it doesn't matter if you lose 2 or 3-0. If you don't, then try and score and get it back. They've pushed up. They are keeping this ball up here, and York will be aiming for a goal right now.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we need. Everyone pushing up really high, because like you said, if we can get a goal in here, then that's much more important than losing one other goal.
Once again, though, Lancaster have their entire team, literally all 11 players are behind the ball right now. Big ball is sent through from York. It is saved by the keeper, and no one is able to get the rebound, so it'll be a long corner for York. Those are the positions that the York forwards need to be getting into, because they know those big balls are coming in. They know what their defenders are capable of. So why are they not getting in? Why are they not hassling that keeper?
Yeah, that hit went right to the left post, so it would have been really nice if the York player had managed to get on the end of that. It would have been a really great opportunity right
Play
there.
it back again, probably looking for another big ball in, and they are indeed. Straight through, it goes in. Reverse hit, saved by the keeper, in on the rebound, and they save it again, but there is a foul from York, and it is put back out. Lancaster attacked very quickly, and 81 has got it. She's running it down the wing. 29 from York on her shoulder, though, so she will not be on her own. York keeps her wide, pushes her wide. It's a lovely run from 81, who's taking it from one end to the other, put it across the goal, and between number 40 and the keeper, it is cleared out by York.
Yeah, really well cleared by York. I think they did a really good job of getting back there from that counter-attacker. It was a really quick counter-attack from number 81, so I think it was critical from number 12, who was right on her and making sure that she slowed her down so that the rest of the players could get back and help.
Yeah, York have overturned it, so a big ball is put wide to their winger, number 29, who is going to be one-on-one with the player. She loses possession, but it is York ball as it comes off the Lancaster defender. So York have got a free just outside the 25, taken really quickly by the York players, as they know they haven't got long left. Ball is lifted but not dangerous by the umpires and put in. Picked up really well by the Lancaster captain, and put really lovely ball straight back to the winger again. York must once again get to the other end of the pitch incredibly quickly. A strike has been taken, and it's in! And the Lancaster forward, number 81, has scored yet again. There's a really lovely run from her. She run straight through the whole pitch, and
yeah, that was a brilliant goal from number 81. Really well set up from 15, passing the ball to her, but then she ran all the way up the pitch and got the hit in from actually a really tight angle, so quite impressive there.
And the ball has been brought back to the middle of the play by York, and it is now 3 to Lancaster and 0 to York. Is this game over?
I think, I hate to say it, but it might be, as we're coming into the last part of the match. York definitely still have a chance to get a goal in. They've been playing really well and have had lots of opportunities, so they could definitely still get a goal. I'm not sure they've got it in them to get 3 though in the last few minutes.
Here, it's Rose's miracles happen. We've seen the craziness that happened last year at Rose's across all the fixtures. There was, I think, 3 or 4 last-minute wins or draws from multiple teams.
Yeah, good point. Maybe
so
York still can do
we
this.
can always see it. You never want to lose hope for the end, but Lancaster have put themselves in a very, very good position right now.
Yeah, they have.
Another lovely goal by number 81 for York. Pass originally came back from their captain. And as much I felt the entire team has played really well for Lancaster, I must say. It's been a real team performance from them. While, yeah, they've got some standouts who we have called attention to, there's not to devalue the play from the rest of them, because they've just put in a real shift this game. They've controlled the tempo, but York have now managed to get it through. Their centre forward has got the ball, she's driving it, looking for a pass, but no, instead hits it across the D. But Lancaster are there. They have no players high, York. And again, you're 3-0 down. At this point, you need to be getting players high, trying to get a goal at any chance you have. 81 is again running with it. She manages to beat the York defence, takes the strike, and the keeper is there. Well out from number 1, Imi Cole there in net.
Yeah, she would have been really feeling the pressure there. That was almost exactly the same position she was just in a minute ago.
Precisely, but she doesn't make the same mistake twice, and she has really met that well. I think it doesn't always come across when a team has gone down a few times, but despite the 3-0, I think we can't underestimate how well Imi has played in that net. Those are not goals that they've not been keeper faults. It's been really good play by Lancaster. She's made some really critical saves that York could be in an even worse position right now. So
yeah, absolutely. She's had some brilliant saves.
It doesn't ever feel great as a keeper or defender to be going down, but I hope she's not blaming herself for those goals, as she has played a really, really good game today.
Yeah, absolutely. And as have the York defenders too. I wouldn't say that they've had any bad moments of play which have led to the goals. I think the Lancaster forwards have just played really, really well today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they've worked it out really well. I think they've had a few key I've had a few key defensive moments as well that have prevented some York goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
But York have got it and they're attacking. They're not giving up. They're not going to let this game finish without a fight. And it's passed from 37 to 21. Overlap from the York back, but they play it into the centre instead. Keeping the ball, really good, helping each other there. Drive in from 112 for York. Ball is played wide, but there's no one there to get on it. They are really working hard, this York midfield.
Yeah, they really want to get a goal in there.
And I can't say I blame them.
No.
It is a tough day here for the ladies' twos. It is currently 3 to Lancaster and 0 to York.
Yeah, I think it's a real shame as well because it doesn't feel like it's been a 3-0 game at all watching it. It's been really even most of the time.
I think
lots of turnovers constantly.
Lancaster have just been more clinical when it comes to those goals. They had a few really good interceptions high on the pitch that they just put in, whereas York haven't been able to do the same. It's a really lovely clearance from the York defender. Number 12 for York managed to get on the end of it, but unfortunately the whistle has gone. She has not heard it, but the whistle has gone. It is a Lancaster ball. She's not look happy about that, but it is a Lancaster ball in their own half.
No, absolutely. I'm
as
not
we
sure
come
she
in,
agrees that was a foot there.
no, it was a 50-50 one between the two players. In fairness to the umpire, I think on the whole the umpiring today has been very good. I know everyone loves to complain about the officials, but, I
we've
think
seen
it's
some
been
really good umpiring today.
Yeah, I think throughout all the games it's been very fair, very even, and I think it's what I don't think York will be able to or Lancaster will be able to make any complaints about it. York managed to get it in the middle of the pitch. Izzy Rosser plays it wide to the defender and look for the ball back to her. She gets on top of it. Really well done from the York number 21. Number 12 drives it wide, looking to turn inside. The Lancaster defender puts her body on the line and gets in front of it. And she has fouled the player though, and it is a York ball just outside the D, literally just outside. If it was any closer, it would have been a short corner.
So the Lancaster player just there getting her body right in front of the number 12 so that she couldn't run any further. That's what the foul was for.
Lovely lifted ball into the D, and the defender gets a touch on it, and York put it over the goal, but it is a York long corner. They've still got the ball. They're still attacking, and they need to take this quickly. They need to get on with it because there's time left in this game, and they want to get something from it. President number 40 has got the ball, plays it wide to number 21, who drives it inside, looking for a ball in the D. She puts it in, hits her foot, but they play on. There is no advantage. They play advantage, and it is a short corner. Penalty corner for York.
And the final whistle has just blown. So York will be looking to get their whole team up into the short corner. This is their last chance to get a goal in this match.
So it is the final play of the game. Lancaster have won this game, but York have still got time to get something from it. They can still get a goal, and the entire team can come up. It is the last whistle of the game, but because the short was given before the final whistle blows, you still play the short corner. They're taking their time. They don't need to rush. The game is done, and I think that they're just going to try and get something really positive from this last play. Inspiring words from number 21, Izzy Rosser there, you can see, who I must say has put in such a shift today in that midfield. She's been brilliant in there.
Really, really hard, and it's been paying off.
Yeah, so she will be taking it from the line, injecting the ball in. We've got 112 over the top, as well as number 12 out on the left, where the ball will likely be coming to one of those two. It gets pulled out to the top and slightly put in the wrong place. Pushed out to number 12, who turns in a reverse, swipes it across goal, and it's another short corner for York as Lancaster have fouled them. The game continues, even though the final whistle is gone. We have another corner because the game cannot finish until this short corner has been run to completion.
If the ball gets cleared off the pitch, then the game will be over. But until that happens or a goal is had, then we will keep playing.
And York have it again, pulled out by number 21 to the top once again. She puts it 112, across, reverse from 37, and is picked up. The York defense, they're scrambling the Lancaster defense, and it's another short corner. I fear this game will never end. York have another chance to try and score a goal. They are very, very close.
They want this goal badly.
And again, I
Feel it
can't say I
coming.
blame them. It'll be something to take from this game. They should have a lot to take from this game. There's a lot of pride they should have in how they have played. It's not been a 3-0 defeat. I do
No.
not find. But at the end of the day, that is the result. And it'll be nice to get a goal for them to at least have something
Yeah, I think
to
both teams have played brilliantly, and
be
it'll be
happy.
really nice to see.
Yeah.
um,
So
a
injected
goal here.
again, once again out to the top. What will they do with it? Straight strike. And that is another short corner. It has come off the Lancaster player, and this game is still going somehow. And
We've got a fourth short corner here for York. It just keeps going.
yeah, and that is come off the Lancaster defender's foot, so it is a short corner. Looked like that one smarted a bit. That was a good strike from 112 there. But they reset again into another corner, and York will try again to try and convert something from this. Lancaster set up in the goal, ready to go. Being injected out again, once again to the top. And what will she do? Another straight strike, hit off the Lancaster player,
And, it's
and
off
that
the
will
back
be the
line.
game. University of Lancaster take the win in the outdoor women's twos roses game, 3-0. Some really, really good play from Lancaster, we must say. A very end-to-end game for both teams, but
Yeah,
they were
really,
far more
really
clinical.
entertaining match to watch. It was so even most of the way through. Lancaster did a really, really good job there of
A flare,
Getting on the end of it.
a flare has been set up by the players, and I must say they have something to celebrate. A really strong performance from Lancaster, can't be denied. They put a shift in there, really good. Again, the players that we've already highlighted have been really, really good. Hopefully we'll be able to get them to join us in a minute for some post-match interviews. But what do you think won Lancaster that game?
I think they were just really clinical when they got the ball in their half, and they just managed to take advantage of the overloads that they had, and that strike from number 81, sorry, to get that last goal, I think was just brilliant. That was all her.
No, absolutely. I think for me, absolutely my player of the match for between both teams. Definitely for Lancaster. As the girls shake hands here, many of whom are doing so for the last time in a UIHC shirt. And yeah, Lancaster are incredibly happy. The men are already on the pitch warming up for their fixture as we've slightly overrun time due to those corners. And yeah, York looking slightly despondent, but I do hope they know that they've put in a real shift today.
Yeah, I
they have a
think
lot to be proud of
especially-
in that performance, and some really close calls. A goal line save from the Lancaster defence. A goal called disallowed as it was played just after the whistle. So many chances that would have brought York back into this game that they were so unlucky not to convert.
Yeah, I think especially those players whose last rose as it is will be really disappointed, but they really don't have much to be disappointed in. They played brilliantly, and I think they just really unfortunate outcome for them.
Yeah, so as the the open twos start to warm up for their game, which will be beginning at a 1:45, warm up on the pitch. We hopefully are about to hear from some of the players from the women's twos game. But yeah, for anyone who missed it, that was 3-0 to Lancaster, who take their first outdoor win of the weekend. Women's twos winning the indoor yesterday to then quite convincingly to then come in and lose today. Looked very different side in comparison, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it would be a massive disappointment for them, especially considering that win yesterday. I think they probably came into this game expecting a win. But yeah, they did a really good job today, so
Yeah, no, a disappointment here from York. You can see the players consoling each other on the sideline. Lots of their friends going over to see them because that is a hard loss to take. Again, 3-0 to Lancaster, who played incredibly well in that game. But I must say, there was a lot from York to take from it. And I do think that the players should be proud of the game that they played. So we are about to be joined by some of the players. Here today. We have got the York president, women's president Mia Batchelor here to be interviewed for the game. Apologies for just stealing you very quickly. But how are you feeling after that, your game? I know obviously not the result you would have wanted.
I mean, obviously, it wasn't the result we were aiming for, but the girls put such a shift in. That Lancaster team have been 2 tiers above us the entire season, and you couldn't tell from the way we played today. Like, everyone committed 100. It was so, so good. I was so proud.
Absolutely. And dare I ask you, how are you feeling after playing your final game for the University of York Hockey Club?
I don't know. I was fine, and then I saw Fleur and Millie crying, and I just started. But, like, it was so, so good, and I've loved it. Like, genuinely, it's been the best time of my life. And yeah, it was, to be fair, even though not the score we wanted, such a great game to go out on because I felt like we played so well.
I'm really glad to hear you say that because we were saying the same thing. Despite the 3-0 scoreline, I think that you girls did really, really well today. And to see the fact that you're going out with a smile on your face despite losing, I think says everything about this team environment. As someone who's played across a few teams at UIHC, how is this season compared to others?
I mean, we got promoted, so it's all we could really want, and that's not just thanks to the effort of the girls, but the effort of the threes as well for helping us get there. So, like, not just across the team, across the club has been such a good shift this year. It's been really, really good.
So yeah, I'm glad you can leave this happy despite everything, and congratulations anyway. Well done for the game that you've played and the season that you've had, and thank you for coming to speak to us. Hi, and who am I joined here with from Lancaster?
Izzy.
How did you find that game? I mean, 3-0 win, must be thrilled.
I know, it was the last ever Roses and the first win, so we're all super happy. But York played so well, it was a great game. So.
Yeah, I can't help but find that it was. It felt like a very good natured game, which Roses doesn't always seem to. Both teams looked like you were both really enjoying it, and you both played really, really well. But obviously, what was the highlight for you in that game?
I think it was Cami scoring her goal. I mean, she's been great all season, but it was nice to see her actually score a goal at Roses.
No, it was absolutely brilliant. We said she was one of our probably our player of the match. From your perspective, would you agree, or is there someone else in the team that you would highlight?
Yeah, I would agree with Cami and Baz as well, the other forward. Together they work really well, so it's a good dynamic.
Absolutely, and really good. Your first outdoor win at Roses for the club today. So obviously you guys are thrilled. What are your thoughts on how the rest of the games are going to go now?
Hopefully the women's and men's goes really well, and the men's twos as well. I think they'll be good watches. Fingers crossed.
No, absolutely. And you said it's your last Roses. How have you found this year in comparison to others? Obviously, away is such a different experience to home. And how have you found it? And obviously, well, will you miss it?
I've missed Roses so much, and obviously hockey at uni in general. But Roses in York is always really nice. So yeah.
No, I'm glad you guys can come and enjoy it as well. But thank you so much for speaking to us, and congratulations again on your win. You played really, really well, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here at York. That brings us to the end of the coverage for the women's twos hockey, outdoor hockey, and it ended 3 to Lancaster, 0 to York, and Lancaster take their first outdoor win of the afternoon, and we move now on to the open twos to see between York and Lancaster to see who will take that one.